Well, what do we think of the new Traktor update? I mean, I love it. It's getting to a point where where all the initial ideas come to life. One of the best things, effect-wise, is the slicer that cuts up little audio samples and rearranges them in a new way, in new patterns, which gives you even more the possibility when you play with loops to make them sound more alive and more randomly.
Yeah, what I like about the new version is that it now has 4 effects. So you can basically go back to the situation as in Traktor 3, where you had 1 effect per deck. Of course, this time, you know, the effects are assignable freely, so you can it's basically modular. But you can have 1 effect on each deck going at the same time, which is absolutely amazing.
Or more on each deck.
Yeah, yeah.
So
as many as you like.
Yeah. A lot of effects.
Well, we have been using Traktor since it came out, basically. And when Traktor 2, the first Traktor 2, was in use, we immediately thought, you know, how would this be if we have 4 decks, you know? Because it basically mimicked like a classic DJ setup. But once you start playing with MIDI, you have your hands free, you know, you don't really have to pitch and sync and everything, then it's easy to add even more layers and more decks to it. So we've been bugging Native Instruments since the start to add 2 more decks, and once there was a stable beta version, we've been using it since, what was it,
2005, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And it sort of all started because as we started playing together around 2001, he was more or less playing only live. And I was DJing with the Traktor Final Scratch at that time. So we started to hook up things, and that started not only our collaboration, it started also a lot of ideas regarding Traktor, because we came down using both sort of the same setups and syncing up to each other. So for us it was a pretty easy step to get rid of the turntables, not using in that respect Traktor Scratch anymore, but only focusing on our decks and not needing any external device to control the tracks, which a turntable basically is.
If you look at where the action takes place when you DJ, no matter in what kind of setup, whether it's 2 turntables and a mixer, or, you know, Traktor with 4 decks, or even Ableton, what you're really doing is blending sound, you know. So all the action takes place on the mixer. So once you have the skills, the MIDI skills down, you know, how to work Traktor with MIDI, then the next logical thing is to think, hey, you know, I got my hands free, I can add more decks. So, and it gives you even more freedom to sculpt your sound in a way that you feel like, and you can make combinations between tracks that would never work together because they always sync, and you can use just a tiny bit which happens to fit that section, and you can completely define your sound in a really specific way using material that would sometimes even never fit in the style that you play. Every time we play a set together, afterwards we talk to each other and we think, what the hell was that? You know, it's totally different every time. It's so free unique. And free form and fluid. You know, it's a very spontaneous way of doing it.
You're not wasting any time anymore by this manual beat matching process, which is a very sort of egoistic, selfish process. Nobody really benefits from it.
You think about beat matching when somebody fucks up.
Exactly. So once you don't have that, it doesn't keep you busy. You have so much more time suddenly, potential to be creative.
Yeah, room to improvise.
And so you need 4 decks, and so that's.
And now we're pushing them for 6.
Yes.